Hi everyone, I just thought I'd show you the latest flea market find. I bought this yesterday at the Vienna flea market at Naschmarkt again for just €2. You can see it's Junkers brand. Junkers was previously, I think everyone knows them as aircraft manufacturers, but they also produce gas boilers and well, as you can see, Gasanzünders or gas lighters and other appliances and things like that. What I have been able to find out is that in 1932, Bosch, the German company Bosch, bought out Junkers, but still continued to use their name on products, even to this day. But interestingly, we found out that in 2019, this year, Bosch will drop the name Junkers, and so it won't be Junkers and Bosch on some of their appliances anymore. I found something similar to this one already on Willhaben, which is the Austrian version of Craigslist, and somebody's looking for either €10 or €25 for this one. This one's really mucky in that it's kind of got kitchen grime on it, fatty, greasy marks, and I'm really interested to really clean it up, open it up inside because I'm interested to know how the mechanism works. Make sure it's all clean inside, and then I'll come back and show you it later, and let's see how it works. There is a spark in there. I don't know if it will show it. Yeah, you can just catch the Pietzo igniting in there, spark igniting, but that's kind of choked up in there with fatty old grease and stuff. So I'm going to clean it up and show it to you afterwards, but it's nice to see it still works. So catch you later. So I've just undone the 3 screws on the handle, and this cover you can see is all covered in years of grime and fat. It's really gross, but it'll clean up easy enough, I think, and I shall try and be really careful not to rub any more off the logo there. You can still buy this for about, I think we saw it online, €28, but the logo, it's branded Bosch with Junkers underneath. So this was when, clearly it was taken over by Bosch, but they obviously only called themselves Junkers at the time because there's no other Bosch logo on there. So I don't know, we're trying to guess what we think it's dated, 70s, 80s. But if anybody knows, if they have this model, if they bought one and they know roughly when that was being sold, that would be great if you put that in the comments. Opening it up inside, one part of it's soldered, so I've got to be really careful. But this whole mechanism is just all fatty and greasy. So there's a silver section behind there that is soldered, so I don't want to mess with that. And you can see it's connected up there. I think that could come out, that section, but I might gently move it to clean it. But this whole mechanism here is really, really dirty, as you can see. So I'll clean it up as best I can without disturbing these parts here. I mean, I have a soldering gun, but I've never soldered anything in my life, so I don't want to start that today if I can help it. But I'll bring it back and show you it when I've cleaned it up, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards and see if it, I don't know, I don't think the fat part of it's going to affect that spark in any way, but it'd just be nice to clean it up. So we'll have a look at that later, and we'll pause for now. Thank you. So here we are back again after giving this Junkers Gasanzünder or gas lighter a thorough cleaning. Ugh, it was so greasy and fatty inside, but you can see here I managed to get it all cleaned out. It looks like brand new now. That was using a mixture of hot soapy water. I used a bamboo skewer, which again I snap and keep snapping along, and it makes like little fine fibres and like a brush. So I use that to get into all these grooves here, which was really, really greasy. But that's come up really well. I tried really hard not to affect the Junkers brand, so I kept my thumb over that as I was cleaning it. Put a little bit of car wax on it, just to shine it up a little bit. It goes a bit dull after you clean it. But overall, I'm really pleased with how it cleaned up. After gently prising it away, the whole mechanism was stuck in with fat, and it was really nasty. And what I've done is I haven't broken the link in any. I didn't need to solder anything. This is already fixed in place, and just from what I could see, I mean, it's okay. There is a link between these two sections here, but I've just made a little bit of tin foil just to bridge it, just to make sure there is a really good sort of connection between that end. And I've done the same for the front. It didn't break away or anything like that. It was just stuck with fat, but I've just bridged this gap with a little bit of extra tin foil to keep that, make sure there's a good connection. This section here, this front end with the electrode in there was really gummed up with fat and grease, and a combination of using hot water, used a lighter to soften up some of the build-up of nasty old fat around the edges there, giving it a really good clean. It's all sticky and greasy, but everything seems to be functioning really well. I gave this metal casing a very gentle light spray of WD-40. Whether it needed it or not, I don't know, but I don't think it hurts to put a little bit in there. I have tested it, so you do get a good spark. I'm just going to put it all back in place now, and you can see it literally just slots in and lines up there. It's not difficult to put it back. You've got to keep this slot near the front, because on the front of the casing there, you'll see there's a little slot there that that fits into. Cleaned all the screws up, which were also caked in fat. Let's put this little hook back in place, and let's see if I can reassemble it now. Oh yeah, let's just wiggle that to make sure that slot is in place there. A bit cack-handed. Can't see where that groove is now. Let's just check that positioning of that is in place. Oh, damn it, the hook's come out. It's really difficult doing this in front of a camera. Hang on, let's just do that again. Put it back in, all in, set it in place. Oh, that's better if you start with the front, I think. There we go. Just twisted it gently in place. Let's get one of the screws in. So, what we did find out with our bit of research, that I think it was in 1968, Bosch introduced Pietzo ignition into their gas boilers and stoves. So I'm sure they would have designed these lighters to help light them as well. I said we haven't been able to find out an actual date for this particular one, but you can get a modern one. I said earlier it was about 27, 28 euros. We've actually seen it on a website for a shop in Austria, and it's actually 37. It's nearly 38 euros for a brand new Bosch labelled version of this, which looks almost identical. The casing's in white. It still has the ring on it. It has the trigger. It's this pistol style. It just says Bosch here, but everything else is the same, and that's nearly 38 euros. That's crazy. So that's it, all screwed back in place, all nice and clean and shiny. And let's just see if you can see the sparky there. Yeah, I can see it. Hopefully you can. Oh, I don't know if it's hard to see on the background there. There, you can just catch it there. Let's see if I can do it there. There you can see quite a nice spark on it there. So it works really well. The mechanism's absolutely fine. So that was a €2 flea market find. Dirty, filthy, grubby, retro gas lighter. But now it's all cleaned up and fixed. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that. And if you've got any information on it, if you've got any idea with it labelled just as Junkers, how old you think it is, then I'd be grateful if you put a comment. That would be really nice for everyone to know. So I'll leave you there. I've got lots of other things to do now. So catch up soon. Thank you. Bye.